What's up, Staunch Gang, and welcome to a new episode of New Metal Files. Now, I've had you guys kind of voting on different episodes and whatnot recently, but one band that comes up all the time, even when I don't ask for recommendations, is Fear Factory. Now, I understand the argument here when we're doing New Metal Files, and sometimes people throw bands in the hat there that I don't think really fit the bill. And a lot of times, technically they don't, I suppose. But here, man, I gotta say, like in the midst of the whole new metal thing back in the day, back when I was totally absorbed in it, I was always kind of like, I'm not so much about Limp Bizkit and Primer 55. I like the hard stuff. I like the heavy stuff, you know. And at this time, I was also getting heavily into like Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, being introduced to the whole industrial thing, if you will. So naturally, Fear Factory came up in that conversation, and it was just the fact that, like, I think it was just this one album, really, it being obsolete, was the album that was considered to be very new metal influenced, if you will. And I guess you can see that because, like, I mean, there's straight up a lot more groove, there's a lot more, you know, kind of repetitive, kind of chuggy stuff happening here, a lot of jump up and down riffs. The whole album is a real head bobber, you know. And I mean, even Burton C. Bell, the singer, even his vocals, they lean towards a more rap kind of hip hop kind of style. We'll get to that a little more later, I suppose. But I really do feel that kind of only happened on this album. I only got into a few albums from Fear Factory before I just felt it was all kind of redundant. And I guess it kind of stayed that way. Although I did always enjoy their sound, and Dino Caceres in general. I think that dude is one hell of a musician. But we'll get back to, you know, the rest of the band and whatnot as we touch on our Wikipedia portion of this show. But I do want to get to it. Like, I've been wanting to touch on Fear Factory as well. And luckily for me, man, I always look for live footage and stuff that I've never seen personally. And how the fuck I missed this footage, I don't know. I mean, this was right up my alley. I don't know how I missed this, honestly. I was a huge wrestling fan when I was growing up. Big new metal fan at the time. Anybody else remember this? This is like a Bash at the Beach kind of thing happening, or some like MTV summer beach house shit or something. And it's Fear Factory, and they're playing live like outside during the daylight on a beach, and they're basically the soundtrack to this badass WCW like little series of matches. It is very strange. You have Kid Rock hosting along with Raven, and I think like Jimmy Hart pops up or something. I only watched a little bit of this. I have no idea. I think this may be a little bit of a longer episode because we're going to watch the whole thing. Let's get to it. Oh, that classic ring, man. That classic WCW ring. Was anybody else watching this back in the day? Like, anybody else remember this? Because I do not. It blows my mind how this skipped past my memory. My buddy Albert, he's a huge wrestling fan, and I showed him this. I was like, dude, do you remember? Have you ever seen this? How did this not pop up? He's like, what the fuck is this? Kid Rock, rest in peace. Shit. The Nitro Girls, oh my god. Fucking Nitro, this is bringing back some memories. Jimmy Hart's bitch ass. Their mission is to be the last mean mother left standing, and when the music stops. Last one when the music stops, got that? Now we've got a slamming band that's gonna give us a beat while the wrestlers take a beating. Jimmy, a slamming band. I don't know. This is classic stuff here. Kid Rock is doing his thing, by the way. I think I'm going to be doing an episode on Kid Rock soon. Stay tuned for that one. But yeah, this is pretty sweet. This is bringing back a lot of memories, man. I remember just kicking back in my room watching this shit religiously. I remember seeing a few things like this too. And they got the classic WCW ring out there, the Nitro Girls. I forget all about the Nitro Girls. Yo, you guys remember that flick Ready to Rumble? It was made like at the tail end of WCW, right before they bit the big weenie, and like a big plot point was like Rose McGowan was a Nitro Girl and shit. Maybe I should cover that flick. Anyone else a fan of Ready to Rumble? That's one of my all-time favorite wrestling movies, even with the release of Iron Claw recently. Roadrunner recording artist. Wrestlers. I got a real classic feel here, man. He said nuts. Raven. Beach Brawl, that's what this is. Super Brawl Saturday? I don't know. Then we got a grunge rocker, a grunge goth rocker, and then we got fucking Kid Rock, and then basically Kid Rock in his later years. Kid Rock's eventually going to turn into Jimmy Hart, a fucking West Texas redneck. Wrestling is not a game, Kid Rock. Son of a bitch. Raven ain't having it, man. Raven don't give a fuck. Oh, we got fucking Dave Holmes. Get the fuck out of here, Dave Holmes.
I am here with the guys from Fear Factory. They are providing the sound.
No, I'm here with the guys from my favorite band, Fear Factory. I'm fucking Dave Holmes.
Some songs from their new album, Obsolete. Welcome, fellas.
Thanks, Dave.
Very good to have you all here.
Dino over here, fucking
y'all big wrestling fans?
900 pounds of man.
Check it out. I know for a fact that Mr. Jericho over there is a Fear Factory fan, and
Right on.
and
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we're all fans of the Nitro Girls.
Any predictions on who's going to take this to that?
We're all fans of the Nitro Girls. I mean, look at their look here. I'm not sure what Fear Factory's look was, you know what I mean, around the time, but they're totally doing like the pseudo-industrial meathead new metal kind of thing happening here with the... I mean, I think I have that same jersey and those same shorts, and he's wearing these same glasses.
There you have it. What more do you need? All right, now, this crowd out here has been, they've been given their fair share of bands like NSYNC, 98 Degrees.
This is such a strange happening here. This some random like MTV
Are
thing.
they ready?
We're going to definitely
The time has come for Fear Factory to change this world.
Beware. All right, I'm sending it back to you right now, Kid Rock.
All right, thanks, Dave. Fear Factory's going to be hitting the stage in just a few
Ooh,
minutes.
he's
but
got some
first we're gonna meet our six
skunkas.
wrestlers who will be trying to cold knock each other's ass out of the ring, all right? Our first wrestler weighs 200 pounds. It is
Let's
the
see who's
WCW
wrestling tonight.
Cruiserweight champ. He's a Beastie Boys fan who's beastly
Oh,
in the ring.
Kidman.
And his favorite move is the shooting star press. Here's Billy Kidman, baby!
And he's got one of the best shooting star presses in the game. Look at this shit. They're playing boom, shalak lock boom. That House of Pain or some shit.
I made him a somebody.
That Kidman. I always thought Kidman was like the WCW version of X-Pac. Hugh Morris. Hell yeah. Hugh Morris is one bad motherfucker as well.
Yeah, go figure that out.
He likes Marilyn Manson.
Hugh Morris, let me tell you, Hugh Morris is so
Any fans of Hugh Morris out there? Let me know.
that one time he was wearing a Malcolm X shirt and a helicopter landed on his back.
Yeah, you know what, though, Raven, I love you dearly, but when I let
Stupid.
Hugh Morris know what you said about him, when this show is over with, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Plus, look,
You know, Jimmy, I've had just enough about your antics.
Reworking that Yo Mama joke from the 90s.
He's shamelessly shilling Fear Factory by wearing one of their shirts.
Nice.
he's like me. Will
Pounds. He's down with Pantera and would love to have Snoop
Down with
Dogg,
Pantera, Rey
Dogg,
Mysterio
tag team
Jr.
partner.
with Sans Mask.
Here's the man
With the
who-
12-year-old boy version of Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
look at Ray, man. Over the last month, he's
Great wrestler. My least favorite era of Mysterio and all this shit was like the Cholo era, you know?
In at 225 pounds, this guy's a Metallica freak and a headbanger. Both
Metallica
in and out
freak,
of the ring.
Chris Jericho.
The lethal Lion
Damn,
Tamer
this is
move.
OG Lion Tamer Jericho. Maybe not OG, but...
Jericho.
Oh, yeah, look at that. We got OG. This is definitely OG Lion Tamer Jericho. This is like, what, late 90s MTV? God, I miss this shit. How did I miss this growing up? This brings back so many memories, even though I've never seen this. Who's up next? Who's up next?
Next up from El Paso, Texas.
Blur's up next.
Opponents with Chavo Guerrero Jr.
I'll tell you, the first time I met Chavo Guerrero.
I know. I literally just said I wasn't a big Guerrero guy. I meant Eddie Guerrero. I was not a big Eddie Guerrero guy. I understand he's a great wrestler. I was, however, a Chavo Guerrero fan. I actually got the chance to film one of his matches. I used to film with my buddy, this local wrestling promotion down here, and he came down and did a show, and we got to shoot a match with them and all kinds of shit. Got to hang out with them for just a bit. This, of course, was a few years back, and most recently, of course, Chavo was the guy that trained Zac Efron and everything for the Iron Claw. So pretty cool that this dude came around, and he's obviously a legend. The whole Guerrero crew, no disrespect.
Bro, he was Fortune 500 family member. Well, my mom is. But when I hostile takeover,
these dudes are in shape. All these guys,
what about Raven?
fucking great to see.
More camera shots on me.
These dudes brought me so much entertainment growing up.
Hails from Boston. His favorite opponent bashing song is
Perry Saturn.
Here's the pilot of the Deadly Death Valley Driver. Give it up.
We have Perry Saturn coming up. Who's up next, man? This is going to be a big match.
All right, here's how it works.
Oh.
6 guys enter, 5 guys
Beach
leave,
brawl.
1 left in the ring.
Let's see what happens in the beach
we
brawl.
Take a break and pay some bills. And what's wrong with this picture? That's right, get some refills. But when we come back, the mayhem will begin. So stick around like some Backstreet Boys groupies. Stay tuned to MTV's Beach Brawl. Right here,
what?
Cancun, mother.
Your jokes aren't landing, Kid Rock. You're failing, Kid Rock. You're failing at the beach bash. 1-800-CALL-ATT. You remember that shit?
What's up with them rhythmically challenged Nitro girls?
The rhythmically challenged Nitro girls. They're just sitting there dogging on the Nitro girls. These dudes probably getting fucked up in between shots. They must have a few onces on them.
From the South, Jimmy Hart, my man Raven right here.
Mouth and South.
And if you're late ass just tuning in, this is the Battle Royale. It's like some Pulp Fiction.
Battle Royale. Let's see.
All right, that means
who do you guys think is gonna win? I personally have my money. I will put it all on Jericho. I think Jericho's gonna take it. However, if I had my way, I'd probably say Hugh Morris clean up. But I'm gonna say Jericho. Let me know down below.
The last wrestler left standing in the ring wins the match.
Where's Fear Factory? What the hell? Where you guys at? Come on out, Fear Factory.
The actions to begin. Now, when the music starts, the battle begins, and it won't stop till we get
It's pretty
a winner.
sweet. Yeah, new metal
So
battle
here we
royal.
go. Fear Factory, make like Jenna Jameson's in front of you and hit it.
Yeah. Who wrote this asshole's jokes? Oh shit! It's pretty sweet. We're starting off with Shock.
Chavo Guerrero and Kidman mixing it up.
Yeah, this shit must have been tight as hell to see these guys live during this album. I wish. Any of you guys see Fear Factory for Obsolete?
It's all breaking down here in Tulsa. You're going crazy. Everybody pop the
New metal on the fucking beach, man. This is tight. What a bizarre production to do live. Like, must have been hell to set up all this shit on the beach. Hugh Morris walking around all pissed off. A fucking 12-year-old little 12-year-old Rey Mysterio running around, no mask on. It's like with Fear Factory, I've always thought like, yeah, the music sounds pretty mundane. It sounds like nothing compared to your, for instance, your basic thrash band or something. But when you really listen to it, I mean, god damn, this shit is complicated. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to play all this stuff this clean. And I don't know if they've been accused of triggers and processing or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I mean, we can hear them live here. It's still raw as fuck. You can see them do this like in practice setups, and they're pulling it off. These dudes are legit, straightforward musicians, and I, for one, really, really enjoy their take on the hard edge industrial style and what they managed to do with that, with all the electronic elements and whatnot. Although they are a band I largely dropped off with, I kind of just after Obsolete. Obsolete was my shit, though. I still think that album holds up. I like how the whole CD booklet's like a story. It's like There's a whole thing going on with that album in general that I feel like even like stuff like I believe it was like Demanufacture, Digimortal, and whatnot. All kind of similar albums. I think maybe those tie in together somehow or something. Again, not the biggest fan, but this whole era right here rings so true to me. This brings me right back to being like a freshman in high school and shit. I can almost like smell their sound, you know what I mean? Fucking Fear Factory. Let me know down below if you're a fan of Obsolete. My favorite song from them on this album was always Descent. That was the shit.
Here we go. Should be some kind of Harana, or however you pronounce it.
Yeah, very strange show to be production to be doing here, man. Like trying to film wrestling and a band. There's not really any commentary either. Like they could be commentating this whole thing as the band plays at the very least. These dudes in there risking their lives. Oh shit, that was cool. You got to remember these WCW rings. They're like you can fit the WCW ring inside the WWF ring at the time. Even now, the WWE rings, these WCW rings are tiny, and then the fact that they get these guys fucking high flying, flinging themselves off, it's pretty insane, especially for this many people being in the ring. You got heavy hitters like Hugh Morris in there. Like this is must have been such a bizarre show to put together. And then you got Fear Factory, like, this loud as fuck. Got the new metal bounce around. Look at that shit. That was perfection, baby. Perry Saturn kicking some ass, man. Very bizarre too to see Fear Factory in the middle of the day like this. Like, unless it's like an Ozfest or something, I don't know. Oh shit, we're gonna get someone fly out of the ring. That's what's happening right here. Throw Rey Mysterio's 12-year-old ass into the sand, head first. Oh. Kidman in there kicking some ass. All these guys are at work right now. How cool is that? I always wonder, like, what the hell? I always, being a kid, thinking Burton C. Bell is a Slipknot tattoo. That's awesome. No, it turns out they're just shitty tribals. It looks like. These dudes just talking about what they're doing after this. Such disrespect. And they should be showing the wrestling more, in my opinion. They're kind of phoning in the wrestling. Shooting it at least. The guys look like they're bringing it in the ring. I'm going to try to find someone that was at this show. I'm very curious on how this all went down. That sound in particular right there from Fear Factory. Oh shit, look. That was 12-year-old ass out the ring. Do it. Do it. Oh. Yeah, that melodic kind of layering with the vocals and whatnot that Fear Factory brought to the table, to where it sounds almost mechanical in a very clean, clear, concise way. That is one of my favorite elements from the group. Like, that's probably why Descent is one of my favorite tracks. I think Burton C. Bell's voice really excels whenever he's kind of bellowing out, like, doing the more singing stuff, the more atmospheric stuff. My favorite from the group, that sound. It sounds so good. Like, they should have a keyboardist with them on tour. There should have been a keyboardist with Fear Factory at all times. Just saying. I'm in 8th grade again, guys. I'm gonna start bouncing around and shit. This is a battle royale. I don't know why he didn't throw his ass out the ring.
We're gonna be back with the band. Stick around.
MTV's Beach Brawl will continue in a minute.
They're just gonna cut through.
Fear Factory's banging out the tunes while wrestlers knock each other silly. And I mean,
Oh damn, they're just playing Edge Crusher.
It's called Edge Crusher right now. Fear Factory, check it out.
See, this is what I'm talking about. The more kind of rap style, you can almost see Burton C. Bell like rapping, you know, kind of like fucking D.D. King or something.
You Mars is out. We've got 5 men left standing.
I remember like being a kid, and we would all like make up our own wrestlers like in our head. Like, I want to be this guy. And Edge Crusher was my theme song, and my wrestling name was Edge Crusher. And that was right before I changed it to something else. I can't remember what it was. But for a while, I was Edge Crusher, the 8th grade backyard wrestler. Ooh, that was nice. D.D. King, dude. He's just there with Chavo Guerrero watching the band. But come on, Chavo, you got your ass thrown out. Let's go. Who's left in the ring? I want to know who's going to win this. Where's Jericho's bitch ass? Beat it, Chavo. Raven is on it. You know, he's on a sick one right now.
Don't even come over here with that.
What the fuck are you going to do, Kid Rock? Chavo Guerrero will put you up your own ass. He'll put a whole fucking 12-pack of Bud Light where the sun don't shine.
We had some sort of setup with Kidman and
Kid
Saturn.
Rock.
Up to Jericho.
The fuck out of here, Kid Rock. Ooh, Kidman's still in there whipping some ass. They're kind of ganging up on Jericho. Oh. I don't know, man. I'm thinking either Perry Saturn or Jericho is gonna win. Let's see. Somehow Rey Mysterio's still in there. Oh. Oh, get out of here, Kidman. Go sit outside. Yeah, this is like whenever Saturn was going through like his like weirdo phase or whatever. He was like wearing dresses and shit, right? There was something else up with Saturn. Wasn't he like, didn't he go cuckoo or something?
Hey, Mom, look, I'm on TV under this guy's...
Shout out to Saturn.
Oh, Saturn's out. Jericho.
Oh, there goes Saturn.
Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho.
Come on, Jericho. Don't let me look like a fool on my own YouTube channel, Jericho. Come on. Also, fuck Kid Rock. Can we get a fuck Kid Rock on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Fuck Kid Rock. Thanks, guys.
A nice somersault bumping.
Oh shit! They're playing Descent. This one's probably my all-time favorite song from Fear Factory. Descent. Such a good tune.
Uh-oh. Ray's going for the fucking Bronco.
He's in trouble. Jericho's in trouble.
No. Yeah.
Before we keep going, guys, please like this video right now. Go ahead and give it a like, share, go ahead and leave me a comment, hit that notification bell. All of that does a lot to help out the channel, guys. I'm really trying to grow the channel this year. Let's do it. Hit that fucking like. Let's get back to the tune. Fear Factory on the New Metal Files. Okay, guys. It is down to Rey Mysterio or Sebastian Bach. Chris Jericho. Let's see what happens. Jericho wins. Jericho for the win. You get out of here, Rey Mysterio.
That was my prediction.
Hey, don't you need to give him a trophy or something?
Of course we are.
Can we give him the trophy? trophy.
I remember buying Obsolete from Walmart, man. And it was like actually like explicit and everything. It was pretty sweet. I got it for like $15 fucking. Used to buy CDs back in the day, kiddos. Look at all these bros, man. How many Oakleys are out there? The Oakley bros.
Get a little static. What's up with that?
I wonder if Jericho still has this statue.
Well, kid, I just want to say I'm so
I beat a trophy.
excited to win an award on MTV. I've always wanted to ever since Martha Quinn and Adam Cole.
Ever since Martha Quinn. Uh-oh, that's Saturn's. Saturn is pissed.
He's pissed.
He broke the damn trophy. Never mind.
Oh, don't make me get in
Fucking
there.
Saturn. Back in the day, it's not like, you know, if you missed this shit, they probably aired it a few times and that was it. I just cannot believe it. Oh, Nitro Girl's getting
Brought to you
it.
by
Shit.
1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Yeah, guys, be sure to use 1-800-CALL-ATT if you have any collect calls. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. What do you guys think? I predicted correctly. Jericho himself, Fozzy, whatever the fuck, that guy won. He is, I guess, the Beach Brawl champion. I don't know what that was, but it was very cool. I don't know, like Roadrunner Records, they did a lot to promote their groups. You couldn't really get a horror movie back in the day without like a huge Roadrunner soundtrack or like Roadrunner bands at least being in it, you know, between like Bride of Chucky and you know, Freddy versus Jason. There was compilations of shit. There was just, this shit was being pushed on us, seriously pushed down our fucking throats back in the day. So it's no surprise that Roadrunner managed to get some groups on MTV doing this random shit, mixed in with the wrestling and whatnot. There was a lot going on with WCW in particular. There was a lot going on with different groups and whatnot, different bands. WCW, of course, had Kiss. ICP bounced around, but they spent a lot of time with WCW. West Texas Rednecks, WCW. Megadeth was on WCW. I mean, the list kind of goes on, you know. And WWF as well. They had Motley Crue. There was a lot of things that actually, I want to do a whole video about like the music that was live performances on both of those productions, and maybe we'll touch on that sometime. But I can see why, with Slipknot being so big and whatnot, how this kind of just happened, and it was, you know, disposable. There was no YouTube back then. It just was kind of forgotten because I have no idea. I had no idea that this shit happened. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about Fear Factory. Fear Factory is an American heavy metal band formed in Los Angeles in 1989. Throughout the band's career, they have released 10 full-length albums. God damn, that's a lot. I had no idea that they've done that much. I thought there would be like more EPs and stuff. And they have evolved through a succession of sounds, all in their main style of industrial metal. Over the years, Fear Factory has seen frequent changes in its lineup, with lead vocalist Burton C. Bell being the only consistent member for 31 years until his departure in 2020. Guitarist Dino Casares is the only original member still in the band. The band went on hold in March 2022 following some internal disputes, but they resumed activity a year later without the founding member Casares. Previous bassist Christian Wolbers replaced him as a new guitarist, and bassist Brian Stroud joined the band. In April 2009, a new lineup was announced. Casares returned as the guitarist, and Gene Hoagland as drummer. Bell and Stroud reprised their respective roles, and this lineup recorded the band's 7th studio album titled Mechanize in 2010. Former members Wolbers and Raymond Herrera, both of whom were playing in a band called Archaea, apparently, disputed the legitimacy of the new lineup, and a legal battle from both parties began. Basically, it looks like they were trying to get two different Fear Factories happening. I don't know. Despite this, Fear Factory has since released 3 more albums: The Industrialist in 2012, Genesis in 2015, and Aggression Continuum in 2021. The band has performed at 4 Ozfests and the inaugural Gigantour, and they probably toured with Nonpoint or some shit. Their singles have charted, and overall they're a pretty respected and successful group. But, you know, there was a lot of internal struggles. It turns out Burton C. Bell and Dino Casares, after decades together. It turns out, that can cause some strain, and there was like disputes with the names and whatnot. Dino left the group. They kept going without him. He came back. Burton left the group, came back. And Burton recorded a whole album with the guys, quit. They had to use the music. It's a big mess. Basically, yeah, Dino Cáceres is the only guy in the group now, the only original member. They have gone on without Burton C. Bell, and they're still doing new music without him. I mean, they're still around. They've been doing a lot of tours with Static X, like doing that whole roundabout thing, actually touring with Nonpoint as well. But it is what it is, I suppose. These guys, what else are you going to do? It must be hard to make a living in these kind of bands now. Whatever. But there's the thing with Fear Factory is there's a pretty rich history there. There's a pretty solid stack of albums there. I would like to maybe go through. We can do maybe we can do. I just listened to Fear Factory on the channel. I've already done bands like Mushroom Head and Edema that you guys asked me to do. So if you want me to do that, maybe I'll do it on Fear Factory. But overall, pretty interesting group. I think their heyday is definitely past. Their best stuff is behind them. I've heard some stuff from them over the years that I was just not impressed with. Nothing in the way that I was when I was a freshman in high school, listening to new metal CDs in my room, wondering where I went wrong. Anyways, guys, let me know who you want to see on the next New Metal Files. I like doing these with you. We're going to be doing longer form stuff like this. Please like and subscribe, comment, all that shit, and I'll see you next time around, guys. Go ahead and check out one of these videos on the screen right now. I'm trying to get some of my older stuff looked at, so hey, here's a few of my older videos. See you soon, fellas.